The time immediately following the service of an order of protection is crucial for the victim. SAVIN-NY, the statewide automated victim information and notification system, notifies a victim when a family court order of protection has been served, providing the information they need to take precautions for themselves and their loved ones. Melissa Mills is the chief clerk for Schenectady County Family Court.
We used to, when I first started in the court system, we were getting maybe 1 or 2 a week. Now we're getting 5 or 6 a day at some points, and it depends on the day of the week. It depends on what's going on around the holidays. Is busier, so it fluctuates, but we're seeing a dramatic increase in the number of people coming to request orders of protection, particularly because the type of people that can come and request them now has expanded through legislation. It's not just a husband-wife, it's not just people with child in common. It's expanded to include domestic partners and even to include people who have been in a relationship, like a boyfriend-girlfriend, who may not have a child in common. It includes mothers-in-law, brothers-in-law. It really has expanded to include so many different types of relationships, so we've seen the numbers of people coming to request orders of protection increase.
There was really no automated way of notifying a victim prior to SAVIN. They would essentially call the law enforcement agency that was serving the order of protection or call the court, or I should say continuously call them to find out when it was actually served. This gives them 2 options. It gives them the option to register through New York Alert to be notified when it's served, and they could be notified by email, by text, by fax, or by automated phone call, or any combination of those. Or for those victims that don't have safe access to a computer in their home, they may want to just do an inquiry. They have an inquiry capability where they can go on and just check the status at any point in time. In order to check the status, they need to know the name of the court that issued the order of protection, the docket number, and the order of protection number.
First of all, we don't get any phone calls anymore. It's been a real benefit to the court and to the people, the protected parties, the petitioners, in that they don't have to contact the court anymore, and in turn we don't have to contact the Sheriff's Department. So I think that the communication primarily has really been a lot better between both the court and the litigants and the court and the Sheriff's Department. When the petitioner files a petition for a family offense and requests an order of protection, upon issuance, the judge will do a few things. First of all, they'll give them the conditions of the order of protection, and then they'll indicate that they can register for notification through New York Alert, that they can register to be notified when the order of protection is served upon the other party.
You know, to the extent that court personnel, and you know, that goes the judge, the clerks, court security, the advocates working in the courts, all of the court personnel should be familiar with the system, so they play a supportive role to the victims who are in court during a very, difficult time.
In our court, we've also taken an extra step. We have clerks in the courtroom who work with the judges, and they will attach the placard for the notification system directly to the order of protection when it's being given to the petitioner. So at the time the order of protection is issued, when they're given that actual order of protection and they walk out of the courtroom with it, the information about the notification system is attached to the temporary order of protection, so they have the information at their hand in order to just register immediately.
Well, it certainly gives them an opportunity to get a very timely notification. If they register for the notification service, they're actually notified within minutes of when law enforcement or the court enter onto the system that the order of protection was served. So they now have some confidence that they're going to be notified in a very timely fashion when it's served, and they can implement their own personal safety plan at that time, because it's a dangerous period of time for a victim.
So what happens is they'll take that temporary order of protection with the information card, and the court officer will usually direct them to the public access terminal and tell them of the availability of it and the availability of the domestic violence advocate if they need any assistance. So they're referred to the public access terminal in order to register for the notification even before they leave the courthouse.
Or they can go to an advocate and have an advocate register for them and let them know when the advocate is notified that it's been served. Or they can ask the advocate to do an inquiry for them every day to check the status of it, and then the advocate could let the victim know. And that's for victims who either don't have a computer available to them or don't feel they can safely use a computer in their homes. The service information that's entered by law enforcement is the first trigger that notifies a victim that an order of protection has been served. So what we do is we're making law enforcement aware of how important that task is. So what they do now is when they serve an order of protection, if they have mobile data terminals in their vehicles, they're making the entry right from the car. And within seconds of making that entry, New York Alert is notified and a notification goes out to the victim. If law enforcement doesn't have a mobile data terminal in their car, they're calling in either by cell phone or by radio from their vehicles, notifying dispatch who are making the entry at the law enforcement agency. In either case, we're making the entries much quicker than we were before. They know the importance of not waiting till the end of a shift and queuing a stack of reports to enter because that would cause a delay. The emphasis now is to notify the victim as soon as possible.
We have a very good working relationship with our Sheriff's Department as well. So our Sheriff's Department serves the majority of the temporary orders of protection and final orders of protection if the person isn't in court. So we found that they are entering the information either in their car or they're going back to the Sheriff's office and doing that. What we do in the court is we're double checking that. They submit an affidavit of service to the court. We make sure that it's been entered into our system, which in turn provides the notification as well. So we're kind of doing a double check on that as soon as we get the affidavit of service to make sure it's been entered into the system.
We have a whole range of resources available. First of all, we're available to come to the court, train court personnel on the program or whoever they choose to be trained. We also have outreach material that we can provide to the courts or advocates or law enforcement or community organizations. Things like posters or information cards or palm cards that are given to the victims. We also have a website, SAVIN-NY.org, that has information available on it.
For more information about SAVIN-NY or to get outreach materials for courts, police, or advocates, call the New York State Sheriff's Association Institute at 518-434-9091 or visit the SAVIN website at savin-ny.org.